I called it last week when I said that Xbox and Bethesda announcing their showcase meant that the start of E3 season was upon us. That same day, we saw tweets from Jeff Keighley giving us a date and some news for the 2022 Summer Game Fest showcase. For me, this just puts hype through the roof. So, welcome to LeftPawGaming. Today, we're going to talk about Summer Game Fest showcase and how that can really impact the landscape going forward. So, if you are excited for today's video, make sure to give it a like, then subscribe and ring that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of my game walkthroughs and other news videos just like this that I post all week long. And leave a comment with what you are most excited to hear more about during E3 season. With all of that out of the way though, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Let's jump in. More tweets! But I guess that means that I really have to start using Twitter a bit more. I get my Twitter news from IGN, like I do with most of my news, before I go into doing my own research on these topics. But we have two tweets from Jeff Keighley talking about the Summer Game Fest showcase. The first one exclaims, "We have a date!" And now that we know on June 9th we have a bit of time booked up to watch some gaming goodies, he says, "I'm hosting a live cross-industry showcase, game announcements, reveals, and Day of the Devs, which is an indie game showcase, which is awesome, that's going to be celebrating its 10th year and is partnered with Jeff Keighley for the last couple of years since Summer Game Fest kicked off. Finally, he says, lots of events coming in June." Interesting. Keep checking summergamefest.com. And that was it for the tweet. But you know that I went to summergamefest.com to get a little more information. The first thing that I noticed was that the Xbox and Bethesda showcase was listed. Now, there are a couple of things that come to mind by seeing this. Either Jeff Keighley and Summer Game Fest are just going to put everything on their site to make it really easy to see what shows are coming up and when, or the Xbox and Bethesda showcase is affiliated with Summer Game Fest showcase. This leads me to the second tweet that was posted a minute after the announcement tweet. We get this. Get ready. At IMAX is teaming with us for hashtag Summer Game Fest on June 9th and at the Game Awards in December. That's right, watch all the reveals, surprises, and announcements with your friends in select IMAX theaters for full-scale immersion. This is going to be cool. IMAX Live. This is accompanied by the little trailer right here, but the trailer thumbnail is a little misleading because it has one of the vampires from Arcane's Redfall, which could direct us to a bit of speculation that there's going to be some crossover. The trailer is really just a bunch of quick cuts of games that were talked about during last year's E3 season. But then again, why show off everything unless everything is actually going to be included as well? Now this is going to bring me to my take. With all of the recent struggles over the past couple of years with E3 and it being fully canceled this year, I can see Jeff Keighley and Summer Game Fest really stepping up and making itself the hub for this summer's game news. Think of it, everyone wants to see E3 come back big next year as they are promising, but to me, it's just not summer without E3. But the summer can't just be a bunch of random announcements or shows that aren't connected at all. That's not what us gamers are looking for during our summers. And Jeff Keighley is such a trusted name in the industry as well, since he has been hosting the Game Awards since 2014, and he's been all about bringing the industry together even more. So I see it all playing out just like this. Summer Game Fest Showcase is going to kick things off on June 9th, and every other show will follow and be linked to Game Fest. I say this because going back to Summer Game Fest website and scrolling down a bit, I see this huge list of some pretty big time developers as well as Sony and Xbox. The most notable thing missing from here is Nintendo. But to me, this just leads me to believe that Summer Game Fest Showcase on June 9th will be all the trailers and reveals, followed by the individual shows like Xbox and Bethesda being able to give us a more deep dive into their games as we hear from the devs and get more behind the scenes info and some more detailed trailers, and probably that's where we're going to see the gameplay reveals. Depending on how Summer Game Fest shakes out this year, the future of E3 could be in a bit more jeopardy. Because if we could get a giant showcase revealing everything, and then smaller shows affiliated with that give us a deeper breakdown, What would we need E3 for going forward if they were able to just cancel, but we still get an amazing show? Either way, it seems that this year's E3 season is going to be spearheaded by Summer Game Fest. Let me know in the comments what you think of my theory that the reveals and announcements will go through the Summer Game Fest showcase, followed by the shows like Xbox and Bethesda to give deeper dives into their projects. And don't forget to tune in next Thursday as I go over more exciting news in the game world and offer my take on what's to come. So as usual, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We will see you guys in the next video.